We have a problem with the situation going on in North Korea right now. Many people think if we were worried about World War III with Russia, no. World War III in Syria, no. But now we have to face World War III once again with North Korea. I'm beginning to wonder whether or not the American people are just simply fetishizing the idea of creating the structural environment for World War III. Whether it's there or not is unimportant. Now, listen, we know for a long, long time that pretty much everyone in the West has regarded the situation in terms of leadership in North Korea as a purest example of being bat excrement crazy. And so much so, in fact, that we almost feel that leadership in North Korea has become almost hereditarily passed down, craziness to craziness to craziness, and there doesn't seem to be any hope for a resolution to that craziness anywhere in the near future. What I find interesting, however, is the fact that the other major powers in this situation, namely China and the United States, they are also guilty if we scratch below the surface of this conflict and of this tense situation. They are just as guilty of certain political posturing and positioning that exacerbates the problem. China has come out recently and talked about the fact that military force cannot resolve the issue. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi told reporters in Beijing that amid challenge there is opportunity. Amid tensions, we will also find a kind of opportunity to return to talks. What they conveniently leave out, of course, is the fact that China, to me, has a vested interest in North Korea remaining bat excrement crazy. Because as long as you have that neighbor in your direct vicinity doing something that seems utterly insane, utterly unstable, utterly irrational, then they're always able to stand back and tell the United States, the European Union, whoever it may be, Japan, hey, listen, you might not like what we do. You might not like the interests, the national interests that we pursue. But at least we're not North Korea. And deep down inside, you know that probably we're the only ones able to talk to North Korea, able to get North Korea to do anything even remotely resembling your interests, whether it be German, Japanese, European Union, or the United States. That's incredibly strategically valuable if you think about it. This idea of being the only one able to maintain and keep in the cage your crazy Uncle Bill. That's what North Korea is for China, though, of course, China will never state to this fact in any given public forum. So when China sits there and says, whoever provokes the situation, whoever continues to make trouble in this place, they will have to assume historical responsibility. It's conveniently bypassing the fact that the person who most often provokes the situation, the person who continues to make trouble in this place, is the actual leadership of North Korea itself. But North Korea, for China, gets a free pass. One, it plays off the fact that most of the Western world, for even in the Western legal system, if you're found guilty by reason of insanity, the punishment you face is completely different than those who do things in a premeditated fashion. So if we continue to sit there and just say North Korea is not acting in any kind of Machiavellian sense, North Korea does not act with any type of strategic rationality, then North Korea is never allowed to actually be held responsible. And that's not only in the interest of North Korea, it's clear that that is in the interests of China. Not because they love having a completely crazy neighbor in its region, but it knows that since it has one, it might as well take advantage of it. And that leads us to the United States. The United States has made a big deal about the fact that we diverted the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier group back towards the Korean Peninsula, and that has basically had the entire population frantic. That are we approaching, is this going to provoke North Korea? Are they going to respond with more missile tests or nuclear bombings to prove how powerful they are and how capable they are of defending themselves? We, of course, are forgetting the fact that the USS Carl Vinson, this carrier group, was actually just in the Korean Peninsula area last month in March. So it's simply returning back. And it is still, obviously, a symbolic gesture. And it grows frustrating for me, quite frankly. China does everything in a symbolic gesture when it comes to North Korea. North Korea does everything crazy, but in a symbolic gesture when it comes to its interests. And now the United States is responding in another symbolic gesture to try and hold it off. So it makes me wonder, and the final question for us to consider, if a conflict is a conflict only in symbolism, is it even a conflict